That's the Aston Villa manager Unai Emery looking ahead to tonight's visit of RB Salzburg live right here on Talksport 2. Chris, Aston Villa having a fantastic season, particularly here at Villa Park. You'd have played here. It's one of my favourite grounds in the country to come and work at. What makes it so special, particularly under the lights on nights like this?
Well, this is my favourite stadium. You know, it's one of them, I think, coming here, playing in the Premier League, it's just a fantastic, fans are right on top of you. It's always been a hostile environment. You either have to step up to the plate, be brave, be composed, or you alter and you get found out, you know. And I think what's been created here, I think Unai Emery has to be given a lot of credit for that. The players are bought into it massively and they're enjoying every single bit of it. And this place will be absolutely rocking tonight.
Yeah, the pyrotechnics are in full flow. We've had fireworks lit above this famous old arena, home of the European champions from 1982, of course. Unai Emery looking to add more European silverware. The win against Fenerbahce last week, live on Talksport 2, was Unai Emery's 100th game in the Europa League as a manager. How much could that experience of going deep into the tournament help Aston Villa come the business end?
Yeah, it's massive, and you have to give him a lot of credit. Just having that experience, that know-how, that knowledge, that tackle downs as well, to set teams up in the right way to get the result. And that's what it's all about. It's the result business, isn't it, Crookie? And that's what he does very well. And like you say, it's 100 games. It's a fantastic return, and what he's delivered and what he's achieved in those 100 games as well has been absolutely outstanding, isn't it?
It has indeed. And, well, it'll be interesting, wouldn't it, if you give Aston Villa fans the choice of finishing in the top four or winning this Europa League and therefore getting into the Champions League anyway, they'd take the silverware, wouldn't they?
I think you have to take the silverware. I was looking at it, you know, you look at it, I think it's Man City, second last game of the season, Liverpool last. I think the final of this tournament is right in the middle of those two games, and if they had a choice to win silverware or actually go and maybe even possibly achieve second or even possibly win the league, you know what I mean? It's a massive, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, we might get into this over the course of the evening, but you and I were chatting over dinner in the press room, and you think Aston Villa have got a real shot at this title. I still struggle to see in terms of squad depth how they're going to finish above both Arsenal and Manchester City, but you're of a slightly different persuasion.
Yeah, well, I just think they've got the manager who has that tactical nous. He shows that adaptability. The players are in a fantastic bit of form. When they have experienced defeat in the Premier League, what do? They get back to winning ways. It's just, you know, that's a sign of a successful team. I think he's recruited very well. I know there's question marks over Douglas Luiz, but what he brings to a dressing room, that character, you know, the professionalism, you know, he's still a fantastic talent, and maybe just coming here where he was an excellent servant just gets that extra little bit out of him as well, which I think will play a massive part.
Yeah, both the two new old boys, if you like, are in the house tonight. We've seen them before kick-off. Just a few feet down below us in the main stand here at Villa Park. Douglas Luiz signing on loan from Juventus, and Tammy Abraham completing a permanent return after a spell in Italy and Turkish football. And I guess you look tonight, in an ideal scenario, Ollie Watkins probably would have been one of those that Unai Emery would have wrapped up in cotton wool, but because Evan Gesand is on his way to Crystal Palace and therefore not part of the squad, Watkins has to play.
I think that's played a massive part. You also, when you look at it and you look at the opponents tonight as well, you look at Gadoo and Schuster, both 19 years old, Alex. You're looking at Trimmer, who's right back, 20 years old, and then Kratzik, 23 years old. Look at that defensive unit. You know, look at the front four of Aston Villa tonight. There's goals in this game. If they can be 2-3 goals to the good, Ollie Watkins, off you come, wrap yourself up, job done.
You are listening to the Europa League live right here on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. The PA announcer just reading out the Aston Villa team to this Villa Park crowd. I'd say not quite full to capacity, but actually looking around the home sections now, Chris, it's still a very decent turnout on a Thursday night in a game that Villa don't necessarily have to win.
Alex, just wait until this whistle goes. This place it'll just uproar, won't it? It's fantastic atmosphere. The players, I think, deliver. They feed off that as well, but they know that they have to get the ball down and play to get this crowd going as well.
Don't forget, over on Talksport, we've got live commentary from the City Ground. Nottingham Forest hosting Robbie Keane's Ferencváros. They still have an outside chance of finishing in the top 8, but they do need results elsewhere to go their way. We'll have updates from Celtic's final league phase game, as well as they look to cling on to a playoff place. But here on Talksport 2, our main focus is on Aston Villa as they bid to cement themselves in the top 2, maybe even win the league phase, as Arsenal did last night. And what a night that was on the Talksport network, as the Champions League phase came to a thrilling conclusion. So what does the Europa League under the lights here at Villa Park have to offer? It is the visitors, RB Salzburg, who themselves need the points to stand any chance of making the playoffs to get us underway. They are in predominantly white jerseys with red sleeves, red shorts and red socks, shooting from left to right in this first half. Attacking the whole end of the stadium, Aston Villa in their claret and blue jerseys, white shorts and blue socks, and straight away on the attack, Watkins 25 yards out, shoots, spilt by the goalkeeper. Oh, and Harvey Elliott from 4 yards out. Well, he just had to score, and he rather tamely knocked it straight against the goalkeeper Schlager. Villa could be in front inside 35 seconds.
Yeah, it's an excellent save, isn't it? When you're looking at Schlager there, just a reaction save. He should have done better from the Ollie Watkins shot, but Harvey Elliott, don't mind it. You follow in, now you're going to get opportunities. He's done everything right. He steered it towards goal. I think the goalkeeper's got a fantastic little touch on it just to keep it out.
Well, what a start that would have been. Villa Park serenading Ollie Watkins, singing his name. But Harvey Elliott, no doubt desperate to make the most of this rare starting opportunity, should surely have done better with the rebound. We're watching a replay on our monitors. Villa have got a free kick meanwhile around about the midway point of the Salzburg half, over on the right hand side. Just lacked conviction. It's hit the back, it's hit the legs of Schlager as he's on the ground, as Elliott trying to dink it over him.
He's done everything right, Harvey Elliott there. He's actually beaten Schlager, but Schlager's momentum.
Free kick whipped into the penalty area, headed on by Mings and straight into the arms of Schlager. But Aston Villa starting very much on the front foot here already. The Austrian number 1 in goal for Salzburg has had to make 3 saves. We've not played 2 minutes. Yeah,
they started very well. You know, even the free kicks, everything's taken quickly. Ollie Watkins does what he does best, just kind of plays on that shoulder, asking that question in behind, holds the ball up very well, bringing in other players.
Gadu trying to bring the ball forward down the right hand side for RB Salzburg. Nipping in to win it back was Emi Buendia. Last touch was off Tim Trumer, the right back, so it's going to be a throw in for Villa just inside Salzburg territory, 0-0.
Yeah, this is what RB Salzburg they have to do. They have to get those short passes in, try and get a little bit of a foothold in the game. You know, the ball's getting played to Trumer there. He's got to make sure it sticks. He's able to bring other players in. Little one round the corner, but at the minute, everything again, that's a threat all the time, isn't it? And he's stopped up there, hasn't he?
Martinez with the ball over the top, looking for Watkins, who looked like he was going to get in between the two Salzburg centre-backs, but it runs all the way through to Alexander Schlager, the goalkeeper. Then it's given away deep inside their own half by the visitors. Here's Sancho, got the winning goal live on Talksport 2 away at Fenerbahce last week, that kept Villa's top 2 fate in their own hands. Win tonight and that will be guaranteed. They need to make up a 4-goal deficit on Lyon, assuming Lyon were to win tonight to stand any chance of claiming top spot. But it is the top 2 that is all important. Just a reminder, finish in the top 4 and they would be at home in the second leg in both the round of 16 and the quarter-final should they get there. Finish in the top 2, then the second leg will be here at Villa Park right the way through until the final in May. Throw in for Villa on the left-hand side, taken by Luca Digne. Watkins down by the corner flag, is grappling with a teenager, Johan Gadu. 2 19-year-olds in Gadu and Schuster at the heart of the Salzburg defence. So a big learning curve for them this evening away from home against a Premier League team. 4 minutes gone, it is 0-0. But it's been all Aston Villa so far. They've got a throw in, which Luca Digne will take down by the left corner flag. He is preparing to hoist this towards the penalty area. Watkins drops deep and then the cross from Digne into a good area, but probably the type of area where you want your centre forward, and he's out playing short passes from the throw-in, and there was nobody in a claret jersey to attack it. Easy catch for Schlager.
Yeah, I'm surprised there, Lucas Digne. He's got to have that composure, have a picture there, keep the ball. There's no one in the box to go and attack that, albeit not a bad ball. And I tell you, they just want the ball. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, Lindelof, it was there to one shoulder to shoulder.
It is a free kick for Salzburg. Lindelof just a little bit overzealous, according to Rohit Sagai, the Norwegian referee in charge tonight here at Villa Park. Looking resplendent under the floodlights, this magnificent old lady of English football. Over on that stand on the far side, you've got the iconic commentary from Peter Withscol in the 1982 European Cup final. These Villa players looking to write their own European history this season, having come very close in the Conference League a couple of years ago, lost in the semi-finals to the eventual champions Olympiacos.
Yeah, I think it's important that Aston Villa keep the tempo high, get the ball back into play. You know, don't give this RB Salzburg side a chance to get into any rhythm at all. It's just went a little bit flat, slowed down, a little bit pedestrian in the passing. They have to keep that intensity.
0-0 in all of the other Europa League games, early stages, so no change in the table. In fact, there has been an early goal at Parkhead. Celtic lead against Utrecht 1-0. That is bad news for the visitors tonight. Salzburg. Celtic currently occupying the final playoff place. There's also Real Betis 1, Feyenoord 0. That's bad news for Nottingham Forest over on Talksport. Betis, one of the teams that they're trying to reel in and finish in the top 8 as my notes go flying. You did warn me that might happen, Chris. The team sheet's gone, but we didn't need that anyway, did we?
Yeah, you can just use this. I've got one here for you anyway, Alex. But then you look at that on the right hand side. That's where it's the channels, isn't it? You're looking at both Kratzig and Truma for Salzburg bombing forward. That's where the Aston Villa can capitalise with the quality they've got in those wide areas.
Even at this early stage, it feels a matter of when and not if Aston Villa take the lead. But here come Salzburg on a rare foray forward with Kerim Alajbegovic down the left-hand side. He got a couple of goals, 2 in 12 minutes against Basel a week ago to keep their European season alive. The shot from the edge of the penalty area is fizzed in by Kitano, the Japanese midfielder, but it's blocked on the edge of that Villa penalty area away to our right, and with Onana they should be able to clear up towards Watkins on the halfway. 0-0, you're listening to Talksport 2 on this busy night of Europa League football.
See, I think that's what's expected here. That defensive unit of Aston Villa, that 4 step up, it just allows that 2 to give the 3 that information in front to go and press and try and force the issue, get the ball in the right areas of the pitch. At the minute they're sitting off it. I don't understand why.
Do you think they might have been taken by surprise at just the strength of the Aston Villa lineup? Would they maybe have expected more changes tonight?
No, I think they would have. It was a real opportunity for them to go. I know they need a few favours elsewhere if they get maximum points here, but you know, I think the players will get that little bit extra out themselves as well. But they've been a little bit tentative, haven't they, RB Salzburg?
That goal for Celtic, by the way, yet another goal for Benjamin Nygren to give them the early lead at Parkhead as Salzburg come forward on the attack here. It wasn't a bad ball, was it, from Gadu down the right hand side, just a little bit too close to Emi Martinez, making his 4th appearance in this season's Europa League, the Villa goalkeeper, and he bowls it out into midfield with Onana. 0-0. Yeah,
I know that the Salzburg, they like to play through the thirds, but that's opportunity, especially when this defensive line of Aston Villa is so high. You've got the likes of Badu as well. He'll ask that question in behind. Kanate can hold the ball up and will come to feet more often than not. That goal for Celtic moves them up to the sanctuary of 21st position as Salzburg again with Kitano come forward towards the penalty area, and he's played it in the end through the legs of Kanate, who may have strayed into an offside position, but it was neat footwork by Sota Kitano. He's done excellently well, hasn't he? And I've got to say, Kanate, he's trying to stay onside. If anything, can he stay in that defensive line and go towards the actual goal there, and he might get an opportunity. Rangers have taken the lead away from home in Porto. Now that's not going to help their case. Rangers were eliminated from the competition last week, but again, Porto are one of the sides that Nottingham Forest, they beat Ferencváros, could finish above, so maybe a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for Sean Dyche. That game live over on Talksport, here on Talksport 2, in the swirling wind in the second city. It's still Villa 0, Salzburg 0, and Salzburg just beginning to grow into the game potentially. And here is Alajbegovic into the penalty area. Again, Martinez is alert to come out and clear it away, but after that positive start from Aston Villa, Ferencváros are starting to ask some questions. And I say that
imperiously steps Onana, carries the ball up towards the halfway line, forward to Elliott on loan from Liverpool. He finds Buendia in the right wing position. Onana has just checked his run on the edge of the penalty. It's forward by Buendia, overhit the pass with Elliott on the overlap, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick for Salzburg. It was Sancho actually who overcooked it.
Yeah, it's a real opportunity, isn't it? I've got to say, I think Elliott can find Sancho a little bit earlier so he can actually drive into the 18-yard box here, but just the way to pass, a little bit too much on it. Real opportunity to cause some problems in that attacking third.
So they've got through the first 10 minutes, Salzburg, with the clean sheet intact. It was looking pretty terminal for them in terms of qualifying for the knockout stages after they lost 5 of their first 6 games in the competition, but they have picked up victories of late against go-ahead Eagles, who of course beat Aston Villa in one of the shock results so far, and Basel last week. Luca Digne with a raking pass forward towards Ollie Watkins, chested down by Yannick Schuster.
Well, he's done well, Schuster. I think reading the flight of the ball, I think Ollie Watkins can be a little bit more, hands-on with him. He's trying to look for that ball in behind. There's not enough air on it. I think Schuster's coming across, making sure that he's dominant, winning those aerial duels.
Gadu now with the ball forward, trying to chip it in behind the Aston Villa right back for the night. Lamar, Bogard, Matty Cash amongst the subs. Quite a strong Villa bench actually. And Salzburg attack on their left-hand side with a dangerous Alaj Begovic. Now maybe an opportunity for Katzig to get across into the area. Villa have got everybody in claret and sky blue back behind the ball. Here is Diabate, dinks it out to the right-hand side, headed down inside the penalty area. Canate with a little back heel. Appeals of handball from the visitors. Villa have not cleared the danger yet, and then the shot from Catano again took a big deflection, and Luca Digne down by his own corner flag can clear.
I tell you what, they want to more at the minute, RB Salzburg. They're picking up a majority of the second balls as well. So if they are going quite long, yeah, I've got to say that defensive unit of Aston Villa are winning the majority of the headers. But Salzburg are picking up second balls in the right areas, and then they've got that ability to play forward. Again, sometimes Aston Villa just have to look in behind. Ollie Watkins is always a threat. Just looking at here, possible handball. Never really knew too much about it. George Hemmings.
Yeah, Hemmings, the 18-year-old, making his first senior start tonight. Celtic have got a second against Utrecht. It's an own goal for the visitors, so they're sitting pretty in the playoffs. Martin O'Neill's men. Villa looking to secure that coveted top 2 finish. Here's Harvey Elliott, 25 yards from goal, one back by Canate, and then a foul by Elliott, and looking to win it back. So a free kick for Salzburg deep inside their own territory. It stays goalless here on Talksport 2. Aston Villa have won 19 and lost only 2 of their last 22 matches in all competitions here at Fortress Villa Park. They were beaten by Everton in their last Premier League game. Quite a flat performance actually in a 1-0 defeat. Yeah, looking at Harvey Elliott, I think he's wanting to impress us, and he's wanting to kind of showcase all his little touches. He's seen a lot of the ball. I just think he can move, he can drive with it rather than look to release it as early as he is doing. Little flicks here and there. It needs to be better quality. The issue that Harvey Elliott has got is that there is a stipulation in his contract that if he starts or plays 10 games for Aston Villa over the course of his loan spell from Liverpool, they have to trigger the obligation to buy him. This is his 6th appearance only tonight. Can I ask why put these stipulations into a contract? Because it's only going to end one way. Honestly, I've played with players that get this in and then they're guaranteed a 3rd year. You know what I mean? I had it in my own contract as well. It's only going to go against you if the manager... Well, usually though, when you put in such a small number of games of the obligation, it's because basically you do want to sign Harvey Elliott permanently, but for accountancy reasons, you're basically trying to knock the payment into the next year's books. Wolverhampton Wanderers, actually, another Euro clubs, they did a similar thing with Mateus Cunha. Yeah. When they signed him. I think he had to play 2 games in order for the deal to become permanent. So the fact that Aston Villa and Unai Emery have taken a look at Harvey Elliott and decided quite quickly, do you know what, I'm not sure we do want to make this a permanent move. It doesn't say much for Harvey Elliott. No, that's fair comment. Yep, fair point. Here's Tyrone Mings over the halfway line, wearing the captain's armband tonight. Out to Digne, left corner of the penalty area. 0-0 at Villa Park between Aston Villa and RB Salzburg. This game brought to you in association with TNT Sports, your home of European football. He's back now with Victor Lindelof inside the centre circle for Aston Villa.
Well, you look at RB Salzburg as well, without the ball, everyone compact, dropped in, hard to play through as well. They are leaving both flanks very, very open. I think that's what Aston Villa have to do. Capitalise. You look at Lucas Digne, probably Bogard as well, can get a little bit more adventurous, venturing forward.
Already tonight, Stuttgart lead Young Boys by 2-0. That puts them in the top 8 as it stands. Aston Villa still in second spot, level on points with Lyon, with a point at the moment in their bag from tonight. As I mentioned earlier, Celtic now have a 3-point cushion on Ludogorets in 25th place, and RB Salzburg stay 28th. If they could win this game, their goal difference would give them an opportunity of climbing above Young Boys, currently in 24th spot, and into the playoffs. And we saw, of course, quite a dramatic turn of events late last night. The Benfica goalkeeper scoring to not only put Real Madrid into the playoffs, but to knock Roberto De Zerbi's Marseille out of the Champions League. And there are reports in France today that maybe De Zerbi's job is under threat as a result of that dramatic conclusion in Portugal. No drama here so far. Villa started brightly enough, could have scored inside 35 seconds. Ollie Watkins with a shot from the edge of the area, spilt by Schlager in the Salzburg goal, and then Elliott looking to dink the follow-up over the goalkeeper, who somehow managed to save it with his trailing legs.
Yeah, but it's gone a little bit flat, Alex. I think I need more from Aston Villa. I think with the ball, having that energy, the quality, RB Salzburg actually controlling a little bit more of the game, getting on the ball. I think being able to play through some excellent hold-up play, albeit I think he's offside, but that's where you want him to be. I think he's got to actually think about the timing of the run. He's actually there. He wants that pass to actually become a little bit earlier than what it did do.
Goal for Nottingham Forest over on Talksport. They've taken the lead against Ferencváros. So it's Forest 1, Robbie Keane's Ferencváros 0. Won't be enough to put them in the top 8, but at least they're delivering on their part of the bargain. Rangers, remember, ahead by a goal to 0 over in Portugal against Porto, and again that Porto really need to win to finish in the top 8, and it's Celtic 2, Utrecht 0. Here it's still goalless between Aston Villa and RB Salzburg. Villa have picked up more points than any other team in the Premier League over the last 14 matches after a disappointing start to the season, to get themselves to within 4 points of the leaders Arsenal, and very much on course for a place in the Champions League next season. Here's a run down the left-hand side by young Hemmings, but he overran the ball and then he was a bit late with a challenge on Mads Bidstrup, the captain for RB Salzburg, played 8 games in the league for Brentford. In fact, I think the referee's pulled it back for a foul the other way.
It's fantastic officiating, isn't it? He's tried to play advantage there. Hemmings was getting pulled back. Little clip to the heel as well.
So it's a free kick inside Aston Villa's own half, away to our right. Tyrone Mings, wearing the yellow captain's armband, is about to take it. That goal for Forest is an own goal. And Sean Dyche will take them any way he can just at the moment. Villa play the free kick short into their own penalty area. Here's Harvey Elliott down the right-hand side, linking up with Sancho, and now the tall figure of Amadou Onana takes over just inside Ferencváros territory. Low ball along the ground to Elliott, has it stolen away by Katzig, the German left-back. He's back now with Tim Trumer in the right-back position. Good play from Bidstrup down the right, and then drawing the foul from Buendia on halfway for a free kick for RB Salzburg. So Forest up to 14 points now, but still only enough for 11th place. They're 2 points behind Red Star Belgrade, who now occupy the last position in the top 8. And it's still Aston Villa in second, being held here, and Lyon scoreless in their game as well. Of course, that live table is going to chop and change a lot throughout the course of the evening, as it did in the Champions League yesterday. Jeopardy in the air, not so much here at Villa Park, as Onana gives it away on the edge of his own penalty area, and there might be an opportunity here for Konate on the edge of the area. Shot charged down, and the follow-up effort from Diabate draws a terrific save from Martinez, and then he's managed to get in the way of the follow-up effort as well.
Well, I've got to say, it's excellent quality from RB Salzburg there as well. Just to kind of get the shot away. I think Konate's done ever so well. I thought he could have got the shot away a little bit earlier when he's cut in onto his left. It's good strength as well. I've got to say, Onana's got to be stronger for me. Cuts in on his left, get the shot away there. He comes back onto the right. Excellent block from Mings, but he's alive to it again, and it's another wonderful save from Martinez as well. And it's Konate picking up the seconds to draw that second save from Martinez.
I wonder if the first effort would have counted from Samaila Diabate, because there was a Salzburg player stood in an offside position inside the 6-yard box, but it didn't prevent Martinez making the save.
No, I think it's Sota Catano as well. He's to the left of Martinez, but again, I think the referee's call if it stood or not.
They have got a corner which is swung in from the left-hand side, but straight into the arms of the World Cup winner Martinez.
But Alex, it all came from Onana. Just too many touches in the centre of the pitch. You know, he's got to move it quick, get on the ball, be stronger with the. Can you play forward? You know, all about risk and reward, isn't it?
Aston Villa 0, RB Salzburg 0. 21 minutes gone here. Nottingham Forest have doubled their lead over on Talksport. So it's now Forest 2, Ferencváros 0. Still not enough to put Forest in the top 8 as it stands. They were always going to need teams above them to slip up, and so far not enough of those are.
It's an excellent defender from Mings there. Just got across Konate with the arm. You're not going anywhere, but has that composure to get on the ball and play Lucas Digne. I think that's an excellent ball. I don't know why he stopped there, Ollie Watkins, from Lucas Digne.
I'll tell you what, it's absolutely Baltic, isn't it, at Villa Park tonight. We need some excitement on the pitch to warm us up, and it has been a decent game so far. Villa starting on the front foot, but RB Salzburg 17 times Austrian champions, league leaders again, heading into the winter break. Certainly beginning to ask some questions, and Emi Martinez having to make an excellent double save a few moments ago. Here is Yohan Gadou, the 19-year-old Frenchman, playing the ball down the right into Kitano. Tried a little back heel, but it was intercepted by Tyrone Mings for Aston Villa, and now Onana into the centre circle looking for Ollie Watkins. If he'd found him, he might have been away, Watkins, but it was too close to Yannick Schuster, another of the teenagers in this quite youthful Salzburg side.
Yeah, it was better from Onana though. I think he took the ball in his stride as well. He had a lot of room for error. He could just kind of make sure he beats that defensive, just clips it over that defensive line of RB Salzburg, but just undercooked it. He's in.
Here is Ollie Watkins, another ball.
He's pulled his hammy, by the way. He's tight.
In between those two Salzburg defenders. You mentioned it a good 10 minutes ago now that maybe Watkins wasn't moving as freely as he could, and he certainly has pulled up there as he looked to get on the end of the pass, and straight away Unai Emery is looking to the Villa medical staff to come on and assess his strike out.
Well, he has to come off straight away. You know, if it's just tight, you know, that's ready. A few of the substitutes are going out to warm up now. I wouldn't be moving.
Here's Jadon Sancho though, looking to come forward into the penalty area, right corner of the box. Sancho just stops and then feeds the ball forward to Harvey Elliott. Watkins has made a run towards the 6-yard box if they looked across the ball, Villa, but Bogard instead opts to go back for Lindelof midway inside the Salzburg half, and I think Unai Emery and the Villa fans would have wanted to see a bit more penetration in that attack, as Lindelof just rolls it along the halfway line to his fellow centre-back Mings.
Yeah, but I think you're spot on. You want end product. You want crosses coming into the box, something to go and attack. At the minute, it's just too many touches around that 18-yard.
Buendia into Sancho, finds Watkins edge of the penalty area. Watkins looking to turn away from his marker, but is held up inside the D on the edge of the 18-yard box away to our left. 0-0 the score. We've reached the midway point of the first half here on Talksport 2, and it's Aston Villa who come forward again with Luca Digne in the bright yellow footwear. Watkins is the target. His cross headed away by Gadou. Didn't beat the first man. Lindelof steps in to keep Villa in possession. Harvey Elliott wearing bright orange boots into Sancho. Sancho dribbles his way into the penalty area, but he's got two Salzburg defenders blocking the way to goal, so they're going to go back into midfield again here, Aston Villa. And again, Victor Lindelof in possession, 20 yards inside the Salzburg half.
Oh, he's done well.
Has done well to turn away from his marker. Buendia being asked to shoot from the edge of the penalty area. Feeds it into Digne. Digne with a low cross along the 6-yard line, and it's cleared away by Diabate.
Yeah, but you're looking at Buendia, you're looking at Ollie Watkins and Jadon Sancho. When Lucas Digne gets the ball, they all make the same run. Someone has to just allow the two to go and just stand back a little bit, and you get an opportunity to goal there.
You are listening to Aston Villa against Salzburg in the Europa League, live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Ollie Watkins still just feeling the back, I think, of his left leg. At the moment, he looks like he will continue, but it's a risky strategy in the cold that I've already mentioned. With a big game here against Brentford in the Premier League on Sunday, a match Villa usually win at home. And who knows, if Arsenal drop points against Leeds 24 hours earlier, they could find themselves just a point behind the Gunners come the end of the weekend. Here is Harvey Elliott into the penalty area, trying to cut it back for Watkins. Well defended by Katzig, and Villa have their first corner of the evening. It's taken 26 minutes, it's still goalless.
Yeah, excellent build-up play, fired. Lot one round the corner from Ollie Watkins as well. And then obviously, I've got to say, Harvey Elliott, he's asking that question every time Sancho gets the ball. He's underlapping, overlapping, trying to get in behind, just committing the defender, pulling him out of positions that he doesn't want to be in. Then, like you say, end product, that's what you want, trying to get the cross in. I think Ollie Watkins, with that little ball that was played over where he did have a little feel, I think he's just overstretched it, you know what I mean? Because he is looking like he's moving freely.
Igor Jesus, by the way, with the second of those Forest goals over on Talksport. They lead Ferencváros by 2-0. Short corner for Villa, and then, well, given away by Jadon Sancho. That wasn't quite straight from the training ground. Lyon have fallen behind against PAOK. So Aston Villa go top of the table. Here's Sancho trying to pick out Watkins with a cross. It was behind the Villa striker, and it will be left for Alaj Begovic down the left-hand side to try and bring the ball further clear. He's turned neatly away from the attentions of young Hemmings. Two teenagers clashing there in midfield. Had a good ball forward as well. Might have to go all alone here, the youngster Konate, and in the end he just ran into Victor Lindelof, I think it was, and then gives away a foul. He has looked lively, isn't he, Karim Konate?
Yeah.
Not played too much football this season, one of the surprise names on the team sheet, but he's caused the Aston Villa defence problems.
What? Crookie, that's from the offside, from just in the Aston Villa half. That's why the flag's going up now. That has, look how much football went on. Look at the challenges, and players can get injured there. I don't understand if it's as blatantly offside as he was. The flag has to go up early doors.
Yeah, and you're talking about players like Tyrone Mings in this Aston Villa defence. He's only started 6 Premier League games all season, been in and out due to injury. He could have done without having to needlessly overexert himself. 28 minutes gone, Aston Villa 0, RB Salzburg 0, but because Lyon are losing to PAOK, Villa momentarily are on top of the table. 19 points from 8 games played, a point ahead of both Lyon and Freiburg. Forest 2 up, as we've mentioned, but still a point outside the top 8, and they're down in 11th place even with that 2-0 lead against Ferencváros. Here is Lindelof for Aston Villa. Bogard up to the halfway line, and Sancho with his back to goal goes back into his own half, and Bogard again will take over, the Dutchman. Oh, cheaply given away. Straight to Diabate, who almost returns the favour, but Gitano just about keeps possession, and he's into the penalty area, Konate, and he tries to cut the cross back for Konate, waiting in the centre, deflects off Lindelof and out for a throw. Well,
it's excellent defending from Lindelof, but I've got to say Gitano was in behind there, just overplaying Bogard as well. Onana was never on. Like you say, Gitano driving forward, he's got options as well, and I think Lindelof defends very, very well.
Corner kick though for RB Salzburg. 0-0 the score. We've got 16 minutes to go in this first half as Porto equalise against Rangers. That's more bad news as far as Nottingham Forest are concerned. In comes the corner, and it was flicked on the near post, I think by Diabate, but flicked all the way out of the penalty area and picked up now in the left wing position by Harvey Elliott on loan from Liverpool. Martinez short to the teenager Hemmings on the edge of the box. Hemmings comes driving forward towards halfway. Good ball into Buendia. Lets it go under him, and rather fortuitously manages to find Elliott. Here's Lucadinha now bombing down the left-hand side for Villa, into Buendia again, little back heel to Hemmings, urged to shoot by the Aston Villa fans behind the goal away to our left. Instead he goes short for Sancho. Here's Onana now, or Bogard rather. Onana making the decoy run, and Victor Lindelof, a finalist in this competition with Manchester United, actually lost to Unai Emery's Villarreal, you may recall, in that never-ending penalty shootout, and he plays the ball to Mings, his fellow centre-back. Here's Harvey Elliott, midway inside the Salzburg half. Half an hour gone, 0-0 on Talksport 2. Forest 2 to the good at home to Ferencváros over on Talksport, but not enough for a place in the top 8 with results going against them elsewhere. Given away by Bogard, seized upon by the combative Malian Soumaila Diabate, and then he's been upended over on the far side. Free kick for Salzburg just inside their own half.
Yeah, he's done very well, Diabate. I think he's picking up excellent little possessions. He's getting close enough that he can go and affect it. And in that transition as well, he has used it well, albeit I think Aston Villa reacted well and put him under some pressure. He can't be finding this kind of space.
Well, he was in an offside position, Aleš Begovic, but he had nobody in an Aston Villa shirt anywhere near him.
Yeah, but the ball's got to come quicker from Truma. You know, Aleš Begovic he's going forward. He's waiting. They've got to know the player. They've got to know they can play it in behind, because that defensive line of Aston Villa is stepping up every opportunity.
Aston Villa's most famous fan is in the house tonight, Prince William, watching from the director's box as Emi Buendia is almost pickpocketed inside his own half, but he manages to come away with the ball and finds Watkins in the left wing position. Lucadinha again bursting forward in support. Buendia has space just outside the penalty area. Watkins almost played it behind Hemmings. You have to say, maybe young in years, but he's certainly not slight in stature, is he? The 18-year-old, very stocky central midfielder.
Yeah, he's looks very kind of composed as well. You know, a little bit too. I think he can release the ball a little bit quicker. There's some nice touches, good control, but don't allow, like you say, it was Badou to come in and dispossess you as easily as that.
13 and a half minutes to go until half time. Still we await the breakthrough here under the lights at Villa Park on Talksport 2. That's a decent looking ball forward towards Canate. Good starting position though from Martinez, who comes all the way out to the edge of the penalty area and claims the ball. I think they were trying to suggest that maybe he'd stepped over the 18-yard line, but looked like he was well inside his box to me. Here's Mings now inside the Villa penalty area. Oh, and he's been dispossessed, and it should be tapped in from point blank range by Canate. The last touch may well have been off an Aston Villa defender, but it's an absolute calamity for the home side. And it's RB Salzburg who take the lead here with 13 minutes of the first half to play. It may well go down as an own goal from Victor Lindelof, but it was Tyrone Mings who was far too casual in possession inside his own penalty area, and the pass cut back for Canate to side foot the ball into an empty net. Lindelof in desperation may have carried it over his own goal line. Either way, it is Aston Villa 0, RB Salzburg 1.
Yeah, big error there from Tyrone Mings. I think it is probably sneaking in that back post, but Lindelof has to just throw himself, just caught in two minds. Tyrone Mings trying to pass it to Martinez there. I've got to say, when you're looking at Canate, is it I think it's going wide as well. I don't think Lindelof has to touch that. He's missing the target there. Just knowing your areas, isn't it? Allowing it just to go, but he felt that he had to get the contact and put it into his own goal there. But you can't play in the wrong areas, Alex. Inviting the opposition on. I've got to say, I think Badou done ever so well. But like I say, Tyrone Mings just caught in two minds.
Is that a byproduct of the fact he's only started 6 Premier League games this season?
100%. Just doesn't have that sharpness as well. You know, he's caught in his heels there, but you could see he was so disappointed in his part in that.
Well, it means they were top, Aston Villa. They will have been knocked off top spot now in the as it stands table. And in fact, because they are behind, that would give Freiburg the opportunity to get into the top 2, as again Mings is almost caught in possession on the edge of his own penalty area. You could hear the groans of anxiety from the home supporters. Here's Buendia. He's just been caught there as he tried to flick the ball away from Yohan Gadou, and that will be the first booking of the evening as Lyon equalise against PAOK. So not a good few minutes for Aston Villa, and indeed they are now down to third in the in-play table. That would mean home advantage only in the second leg in the round of 16 and the quarter-final, but not the semi, should they get there. Aston Villa 0, RB Salzburg 1, and Ollie Watkins is unable to continue. And it's going to be Morgan Rogers who comes on to replace him, and Watkins is heading straight back to the dressing room, Chris.
Yeah, I'm disappointed for him as well, because, like you say, he wasn't moving right. Then he started to kind of get into it. But as soon as he started feeling that, you could see the concern in Unai Emery. The subs went out. No surprise the change has been made.
Are you a little bit surprised, bearing in mind that Watkins is the only senior striker available tonight? We know that Tammy Abraham is here but can't play. We'd expect him to make his debut against Brentford at the weekend, particularly if Watkins is unavailable. But why are they letting Evan Gassan go out on loan?
It's a strange one to me. I did say that to you. I think it's, like you say, is it the books, the accounts and all that. I think that's part and parcel of it, because I think fantastic player, but when you're so close and you're fighting on all fronts...
They've given it away again. And here's Baidu. Baidu into the penalty area, left-footed shot, saved by Martinez. Well, they look a nervous wreck defensively, Aston Villa again. They were dispossessed deep inside their own half.
Well, I've got to say, I think Baidu should do better there. Again, it was George Hemmings caught in possession right at Emi Martinez as well. I think it's so important to try and find the corners in those positions there. I tell you what, they just want it more all over the pitch. Not giving Aston Villa a second in the midfield areas.
Well, that 1-0 lead they have here at the moment has put RB Salzburg back into the playoff places. They will finish 24th as it stands. That is the last place before being eliminated completely. Aston Villa down to third behind Lyon and Freiburg, albeit on goal difference of Freiburg, but they're trailing 1-0, and Konate's in again here behind. Konate against Emi Martinez. He overran it, the Salzburg striker, and Martinez able to collect.
I think Tyrone Mings here is really struggling there. Konate's got the ball in front of him. Tyrone Mings is touch tight, he rolls him far too easily, and Tyrone Mings, he doesn't have the legs to keep up with him there.
And the crowd are just getting a little bit on his back as well since that mistake.
Yeah, but that's part and parcel. He knows that if you're making mistakes, they've conceded the goal because of it, and then straight away, a couple of minutes later, he makes the exact same mistake, overplaying in his own 18-yard box.
So it's Lyon top on 19 points, Freiburg second on 18 points, but they've got a 1-goal difference better than Villa. Villa on 18 in third place. And Porto, by the way, have equalised against Rangers in the midst of all that. Forest 2 up, but only enough to finish 12th at the moment. Celtic in 20th place. They're leading by 2-0 at home to Utrecht. 8 minutes to go here. Aston Villa 0, Salzburg 1. Remember, only 2 defeats in Villa's last 22 games here at Fortress Villa Park. That record under threat live on Talksport 2. Luca Digne with the ball forward to Rogers. Rogers playing as the false number 9 now in the absence of Ollie Watkins. And he can't get there ahead of Johan Gadou. And the ball is out now with the left back Katzik. Porto now in front against Rangers. Rangers already out of Europe. Their elimination confirmed despite victory last week. So Danny Roll's arrival just a little bit too little too late in terms of continental competition, but they're still very much in the hunt for the title. As Emi Martinez pings the ball forward. Luca Digne was trying to get on the end of it, but it's headed away by Tim Truma. And then an offside flag up against the lively Edmundo Baidu, the teenage Ghanaian. It was his speed of thought, dispossessing Mings inside the penalty area, cutting the ball back for Konate that led to that opening goal. Eventually turned into his own net by Victor Lindelof, but it has been credited as a Konate goal officially.
Yeah, I think it definitely was going wide. I'm just looking at Onana and Hemmings, just a little bit off the pace. Nice little ball in behind. Yeah,
Morgan Rogers though is going to run this out of play as he just about keeps it in, but couldn't find a teammate in the centre. Celtic have got a third against Utrecht. Engels with a penalty, so a comfortable night for them in Glasgow. Anything but comfortable for Aston Villa here.
Well, I'm looking at Morgan Rogers there. He's got in behind. I've got to say, I think Gadou's done very, very well. But then when you're looking at it, I just feel that you're looking at Harvey Elliott, has to be there trying to pick up second balls. Morgan Rogers done ever so well to keep the ball alive, but you're looking at Buendia, Harvey Elliott, nowhere near.
And it's the RB Salzburg fans who are making most of the noise now inside Villa Park, as Hemmings does well, winning the ball on halfway, and he's got Luca Digna in space to his left. He maybe undercooked the pass, and that allowed Truma with a slide challenge to win it back. And then Anana lets it roll under his studs, and it's picked up by the scorer Kanate. He's got options to his left in Alaj Begovic. Alaj Begovic with a shot from the edge of the penalty area, high over the bar, into the fans, and it stays 1-0 to Salzburg. 5 minutes to play in this first half on Talksport 2.
Yeah, I feel like I'm picking on him on Anna there, but it's a comfortable ball that he can go and intercept, and it's just rolled over his foot. I don't know if he just takes his eye off the ball, or he's already thinking about what he's going to do with it, but he has to be better in those situations. Again, got in behind Kanate, driving forward, driving at the heart of the defence there, but I just don't see any relationship there between Onana and Hemmings. And I know he's a fantastic young talent, but he's got to, like you say, he's got the presence, hasn't he? He's got to come and he's got to be commanding, he's got to be vocal as well.
When we were talking on and off air about Aston Villa's title credentials or otherwise, that for me is the issue. The strongest part of their team, arguably over the first half of the season, was in midfield. Yeah. Boubacar Kamara was excellent. He's going to miss the rest of the season. John McGinn is the driving force. He's going to be out for a couple of months. Yuri Tillemans, I think, has been a fantastic free transfer signing. He's not going to play for the next 2 months either. And I just worry if Douglas Luiz if he's going to be able to replicate what those three have done over the first half of the season.
Yeah, it's a good argument. You know, I obviously think time will tell. You know, I think what he does, it's a dressing room that he knows and loves very well. You know, it's a fan base that again can get the best out of him, and that in itself can get a little bit more out of him as a footballer. I think the technical ability and the quality is definitely there. But like you say, is he on the way down?
Douglas Luiz introduced to the Villa Park crowd tonight. There's a good piece of defending there by Yannick Schuster, hammering the ball against Harvey Elliott and making sure it goes behind for a goal kick for Salzburg. You are listening to Aston Villa against Salzburg in the Europa League, live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Chris Iwelumo, the former Scotland striker, alongside me, Alex Crook, on a chilly night in the Midlands. And it is Aston Villa at the moment heading for a surprise defeat that would scupper their hopes of a top 2 finish. Villa down in 3rd as it stands. Forest 2-0 up against Ferencváros over on Talksport, but still down in 12th position, so it'll be the playoffs for Sean Dyche's side. Bearing in mind they're in the midst of a relegation battle, they could do without those extra 2 matches in a few weeks' time. Here's Hemmings into Anana for Aston Villa. Anana coming over the halfway line, out to Harvey Elliott down the right. Good ball forward to Sancho. Sancho just holds it up down by the corner flag, waits for some support in the centre, and then in the end, under pressure from Schuster, is forced to carry it behind for a goal kick. Not been his night so far, the man on loan from Manchester United. And well, in fairness to him there, Chris, and this is where it's an issue that Ollie Watkins has gone off, Morgan Rogers playing a position that he's not really accustomed to. His initial reaction, his initial thought as a non-striker was not necessarily to try and attack the 6-yard box. He just hung back, and that's why Sancho had to delay the cross. Yeah, I understand that. You know, I think it's he's got to kind of dictate that, hasn't he? He's got to make that run. He's got to make Sancho's mind up for him. But you know, it's not his position. You know, but he is one of those players that arrives at the box at the right time, can get across the face of the defenders. So I think just you've got to have those relationships with your wide players. I think Sancho shouldn't have to think about it. Get your head up, look in the box, deliver with quality. Here's Emi Buendia looking to attack down the left-hand side, but can't keep the ball in play, and it will remain Aston Villa 0, RB Salzburg 0. The live football continues across the Talksport network this weekend. Tomorrow night, live from the Championship, Bristol City against Derby. Live on Talksport 2 is an 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. You'll have to wait a little bit longer than usual for our live and exclusive Premier League commentary. It is Liverpool against Newcastle. That gets underway at 8 o'clock on Talksport. Of course, before that, with the earlier start of 1 o'clock, Adrian Durham will be taking you around the grounds for Game Day Live. The goals they go in from the Premier League and beyond, as Emi Martinez has to come out to the edge of his penalty area to get on the end of a ball, played forward before Baidu could get there. Baidu has gone down looking for a penalty. I think he timed it absolutely to perfection, Emi Martinez, but again it was too easy for Baidu to get in behind Luca Digne down the right-hand side for Salzburg.
Well, it was a challenge that Martinez had to make, and what was very timely. But Lucas Digne, I don't understand why he's undercooked the pass back to Emi Martinez as well. You know, Baidu has every chance to get that little touch as well. Albeit, I think he has tried to get the little touch, and then Edmonton's got a touch on the ball, but his follow through has taken the play up.
Well, Baidu is still down holding his left ankle. They have knocked the ball out of play here, and the Norwegian referee is just going to check on the teenage Ghanaian. We're going to watch a replay now. It's just a ball scooped over the top, and Luca Digne, well, it was a miscued pass back towards his own goal, and Martinez, he came feet first, but he definitely got the ball, didn't he? I'm
just taking a look at this side and the angle. He's touched the ball. Yeah, as if it's any other, if it's outfield, if it wasn't a goalkeeper, I think it's a free kick. Just for the fact he's got the ball done as a follow through. But as a keeper, you've coming out, you're trying to make yourself big, and he's got that little contact on the ball and then taken by Baidu as well.
We're into one added minute at the end of the first half. Aston Villa, who've claimed 18 points from losing position in the Premier League this season, might have to use their powers of recovery again in the second half. They trail by a 0-0, scored by Karim Konate after a real error inside his own penalty area by Tyrone Mings. As Baidu is helped back to his feet elsewhere, Forest still 2 goals up on Ferencváros over on Talksport, but still outside the top 8. They need the likes of Bologna, Stuttgart and Roma ahead of them to slip up, and they need a few more goals themselves as well. Villa down to 3rd place behind Freiburg and Lyon, neither of whom are winning tonight, but in fact Villa are losing here at the moment. Is going to see them miss out on the top 2. Plenty of course still to happen in the second half of the matches around the continent, but here with only 30 seconds of stoppage time to play, looks like Salzburg are going to see out this half-time lead comfortably enough. Villa in possession maybe will get the opportunity to launch one final attack as Onana plays it out to the right to Lamar Bogard, and then Onana switches it to Mings on the edge of the centre circle. Ball into Buendia, who gives it away with a blind pass, and here is Konate now inside the centre circle, and suddenly it's Salzburg looking to launch that last attack of the half. Good challenge by Onana on the slide to win it back for Aston Villa, and there goes the half-time whistle. Well, these Aston Villa supporters are not accustomed to seeing their team struggle at home this season. And when you saw the strength of Unai Emery's lineup, it looked like a foregone conclusion that Villa would pick up another 3 points to at least cement themselves in the top 2, but it isn't working out that way. Karim Konate with the only goal 12 minutes before half-time, after Tyrone Mings had been dispossessed on the edge of his own 6-yard box. The goal that separates the 2 teams, and to make matters even more painful, Ollie Watkins, the Aston Villa striker, hobbling off with what looked like some kind of muscle injury. Overall, all in all, Chris Iwelumo, not a great half for Unai Emery's team.
No, not at all. I'm sure the manager and a few of the players will have some very harsh words to say. You know, I think when they have played with a little bit of urgency, a little bit of purpose, they've created opportunities. Not seen it enough. Get the ball down, make sure it's in play, make sure you're moving it fast. You know, too many touches have allowed RB Salzburg to get on the ball. And every time Konate gets the ball, what does he do? He runs at the defence 100 miles an hour, you know, and he's got in behind. He's got his goal. You can't ask for any more. They're going to regroup now, and it's all about not conceding. And I think without the ball, RB Salzburg have showed a little bit of purpose, made sure they're on the front foot, trying to force the error, and in that transition they've been better on the ball. I need more from Aston Villa.
Well, what will the half-time message be from Unai Emery as he gets his players back into the sanctuary of the dressing room?
Well, I'm looking at Onana, I'm looking at Hemmings. For me, they're not really protecting the back four, but they're not really advancing and winning those balls and those transitions to kind of get anything from that attacking area as well. Buendia, too many times, too many little flicks. You know, get on the ball, do what you do, drive at the heart of defence. Sancho, I think, yeah, he's seen the ball, but it's all about end product. I need more. You know, Harvey Elliott's probably seen a little bit more of the ball, tried to make things happen, overlapping, showed a little bit more energy. And obviously, disappointed to see Ollie Watkins go off. But now you've got Morgan Rogers playing in a position that okay, he can do a job in it, but it's not his natural position.
Yeah, tough night for a lot of these Aston Villa players so far. Can only get better, you'd have thought, in the second half. It's going to need to if they're to finish in the top two and get that precious home advantage all the way to the semi-finals. Half-time at Villa Park. It is Aston Villa 0, RB Salzburg 1.
Europa League live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
The Super Bowl is coming to 5.
Ready to fly to the end zone! Touchdown!
After the electrifying playoffs, the Seattle Seahawks take on the New England Patriots in a battle for glory.
He's gonna go the distance!
Watch it for free on 5. The night where anything can happen.
Just enjoy the show! Ready for anything!
The Super Bowl, Sunday the 8th of February at 10:30. Watch free on 5.
I'm Linda, proud mum of Team GB's Emily Campbell. I know from watching my daughter through the years, the slog of training can get ugly. That's why Quaker is the perfect sponsor for Team GB. Because even though their porridge looks flipping ugly, it's the ugly stuff, the real stuff, that fuels us. Quaker, deliciously real, deliciously ugly, sponsor of Team GB.
Now, I'm as guilty as anyone when it comes to ignoring things. Road grey hairs, red flags in relationships, or that service reminder on your car dash. Luckily, that one's easy. Visit Cinch for faff-free servicing at over 100 locations. Any car, whether you bought it from Cinch or not. With MOTs $39.95 and servicing from only $129.95. To book your service or buy your next car, visit cinch.co.uk. See cinch.co.uk/servicing for details, terms and exclusions apply.
Hawksby and Jacobs on your side every weekday afternoon from 1 on Talksport with Toolstation, delivering cutting-edge comment, a catalogue of riveting guests, and drilled-down dialogue to power up your lunchtime. Plus, breaking news, views, and loads of laughs. Don't miss the nation's favourite sporting lunch with the legendary Hawksby and Jacobs every weekday afternoon from 1 on Talksport with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
Every emotion and total devotion.
It's game on.
This is Talksport 2. Boot it. Saturday afternoon, live championship football on Talksport 2.
Oh, what about that?
Leicester City versus Charlton Athletic.
Pre-match walk-on starts at 12 noon. Rough and tumble begins at 12:30.
Saturday afternoon,
King-size coverage of the EFL. Live on Talksport 2. Coming soon, the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Live on Talksport and Talksport 2.
And that is a sensational goal!
48 teams, 39 days, 3 host countries, 1 summer of unbelievable, unbeatable sporting drama.
It's a world-class free kick from a world-class player.
Unrivaled kick-by-kick commentary of every single game across the entire tournament.
Comes to the far post, hits the post, and he's got in!
The 2026 FIFA World Cup starts this June on Talksport and Talksport 2.
get bowled over with Following On, the fast-paced cricket podcast from Talksport that'll hit you for 6. It's a pitch-perfect delivery of first-class cricket news.
And that's a beautiful straight drive.
Boasting an impressive strike rate of exclusive big-name guests.
You little ripper!
And fielding fierce fan reaction.
Oh, that might be out.
Don't get caught out. Subscribe now to the Following On podcast. Available on Acast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Kick Off. King of football commentary. Kick Off. Live on Talksport 2.
So what does the Europa League under the lights here at Villa Park have to offer on the attack? Watkins, 25 yards out, shoots, spilt by the goalkeeper. Oh, and Harvey Elliott from 4 yards out. Well, he just had to score. There might be an opportunity here for Canate on the edge of the area. Shot charged down, and the follow-up effort from Diabate draws a terrific save from Martinez. And then he's managed to get in the way of the follow-up effort as well. Here's Mings now inside the Villa penalty area. Oh, and he's been dispossessed, and it should be tapped in from point-blank range by Canate. The last touch may well have been off an Aston Villa defender, but it's an absolute calamity for the home side.
He felt that he had to get the contact and put it into his own goal there. But you can't play in the wrong areas. Alex, inviting the opposition on.
It is Aston Villa 0, RB Salzburg 1. Yes, a scoreline not too many of us saw coming at half-time. Work to do for Aston Villa in the second half if they're to get themselves back into the top two in this Europa League. Elsewhere tonight, half-time, Basel 0, Victoria Pilsen 1, Celtic 3-1 up on Utrecht. They're heading into the playoffs, Martin O'Neill's side. FCSB 0, Fenerbahce 1, it's Genk 1, Malmo 1. Still goalless between Go Ahead Eagles and Braga, and Lille and Freiburg. Freiburg at the moment are going to finish second, one place above Aston Villa. It's Ludogorets 1, Nice 0, Maccabi Tel Aviv 0, Bologna 1, Midtjylland 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0. Over on Talksport, Forest 2-0 up against Ferencváros, courtesy of an own goal and another from Igor Jesus, but not enough as it stands to finish in the top 8 with a playoffs for Sean Dyche's side. Lyon 1, PAOK 1, Panathinaikos 0, Roma 0, Porto 3-1 up on Rangers. Rangers did lead early over in Portugal. Real Betis 2, Feyenoord 0. If both those results in Porto and Real Betis stay the same, there's no chance, whatever Forest do, of them finishing in the top 8. Red Star Belgrade 0, Celta Vigo 0, it's Sturm Graz 0, Norwegian side Brann 0, and Stuttgart leading Young Boys by 2-1. You are bang up to date with all the goals from around the Europa League tonight and what they mean in terms of the final table. A reminder, this game at Villa Park brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football, and live Premier League football returns to the Talksport network this weekend. We'll be at Anfield under the lights as Liverpool take on Newcastle, and the fight for the top 4 continues. The rest of the story develops in the latest episode of the greatest drama in the world. This is the Premier League. Ekatike through the legs of the goalkeeper, and he scores. Turns a dangerous ball in. Voltamana, and the double for Newcastle United.
I said recently, if we can improve in both boxes, it's going to be very hard for any team to play against us.
The Premier League is such a strong league that can only make you better by playing in that tough competition week in, week out. The games that we play, home or away, they're so difficult.
Zana trying to seal it here. Right foot shot. You bet he sealed it. He steps up, right footed, slams it into the corner. Vicario goes the wrong way. Anthony Gordon wheels away in celebration. It's a box set of entertainment that you can't get anywhere else. So Liverpool against Newcastle live on Talksport this Saturday. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff, and the Reds got their form back on track yesterday with a big 6-0 home win against Karabag in the Champions League. Their injury woes did continue though, with Jeremy Frimpong having to leave the pitch within the opening minutes. Arne Slot was asked after the game about his situation.
Now, it's obvious that if a player goes out like that, you don't expect him to play Saturday against Newcastle. And maybe I can come back to something I said yesterday when I said that it might, I used the word might, but apparently not everybody is listening very properly to what I say, has helped us that we lost against Paris Saint-Germain. We were not happy. I wasn't happy losing against Paris Saint-Germain. I wanted to go all the way with that team. That team was strong enough to win the Champions League as well. And we were by far the best team in the league. So we completely deserved to win the league. But if you are the best team in the league, then you have need those players available. And this season shows that if we have to play many games, sometimes you can get injuries as well. And that's what I meant. We did not face injuries after we went out against Paris Saint-Germain. And some people wanted to make my world even more ridiculous, saying that we were 15 points clear. Yes, we've been maybe in one moment 15 points clear, but most of the time we were 8 points clear. And if you then face a situation of 3, 4, 5 injuries, it might have been more difficult for us, but we were the best team in the league, and we could have won the Champions League as well, and we would have loved to go to the next round last season. But this club, it hits us harder if we have injuries than the clubs we are in competition with. And That was the point I was trying to make, but people picked it up in the wrong way. So maybe next time I should be a bit more clear with what I meant. So Jeremy is out, and let's see what the future brings.
That's the Liverpool boss, Arne Slot, who was also asked if Frimpong's injury may force the club into the transfer market. Here's what he had to say on that.
We as a club always make decisions, as we at least think smart decisions. So we not only look at the short term, we also look at the long term. Longer term, that's why we sign young players as well. Very good players, but young ones that can still develop. Now we can see this development with a few. And it always depends on, are there players available that we think can help us? And if they are, can we afford them? And does this also be helpful for the longer term future? Because our players come back from injury as well. And I just said that we don't have a squad where we have 4 right backs and 12 midfielders and 3 or 4 number 9s. That's not how it works over here. So we have to do the smart things for the near future, but also for the longer future. And let's first see how Jeremy is. Maybe he's not able to play Saturday, but maybe he's able to play 1 or 2 days later. And we now go into a schedule with 1 game a week. So that would usually mean less injuries, but you're never sure.
That's Arne Slot, the Liverpool manager, talking about the Champions transfer plans between now and the window slamming shut at 7 o'clock on Monday. And there's a special Talksport programme hosted by Mr. Deadline Day himself, Jim White, along with the former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy, and me, Alex Crook. Join us and a host of experts from 6:30. That follows Deadline Day Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. And across the weekend and on Monday, Talksport will give you the inside track on all of the rumours and the done deals. Keep right across it online, on your smart TV, on our app, and of course on air on Talksport as well. And a reminder of the big transfer news from today. Evan Gesson, not part of the Aston Villa squad tonight. Looks like he's going to join Crystal Palace on loan, although you do wonder if that injury to Ollie Watkins might scupper that move to Selhurst Park. Palace were also expected to make a £50 million written offer for Jørgen Strand Larsen at Wolves. We broke this exclusively a few hours ago. That written offer is still to be received. The latest news we have is that Jørgen Strand Larsen's move from Molineux to the FA Cup holders Crystal Palace is very much in jeopardy, and Jean-Philippe Mateta looking to force his way out of Selhurst Park between now and 7 o'clock on Monday. He has interest from AC Milan, Juventus and Nottingham Forest, who have had one offer we believe to be in the region of £35 million rejected. And more breaking transfer news for you. Axel Disasi, the Chelsea defender, part of that so-called bomb squad for the last season or so, looks like he will be joining West Ham on loan. For all the latest movers and shakers in the transfer market, to keep across it on the Talksport website, talksport.com, and our rolling transfer blog. As the Aston Villa players re-emerge for the second half, looks like we are going to see at least one change. Chris Iwelumo, Matty Cash is stripped and ready for action. I've got to say Bogard did struggle in that right back position.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think you know what you're going to get, Matty Cash, that energy down that right hand side, end product as well. So yeah, no surprise to me. So Josh Hemmings off, is it?
Is, yeah, because Bogard's going to go into midfield.
Just drops in.
I mean, I got quite a derogatory text for an Aston Villa supporting friend of mine talking about George Hemmings' performance. Is it just a little bit too much too soon for him?
I needed more. I've heard so much positivity around him, you know, the attributes that he's got, but go and influence the game. You know, you're in a strong side, so get on the ball, have that energy, that drive, you know, that passion, that determination to go and, you know, make things happen. He was a little bit too nonchalant, you know, I think. So that understanding me on Anna and Bogard, it's something that a change needed to happen, but also you're getting Matty Cash, who's naturally going to be bombing forward, making things happen down this right-hand side. And
there's a change as well for RB Salzburg. This one a bit more surprising. Their goal scorer, Karim Konate, has been replaced by Moussa Yeo in the second half.
He took that, was it not Konate? No, it was Badu that took that.
Yeah, that was
Baidu,
who went down. So one change of pace at half-time. It's Aston Villa who are going to get us back off and underway in their claret jerseys with the sky blue sleeves, white shorts and sky blue socks. RB Salzburg in the predominantly white shirts, red sleeves, red shorts and socks. They are attacking the goal away to our left, and my hands are so cold I can't even write Musa Yio's name on my team sheet. It is absolutely freezing at Villa Park. So the Aston Villa team for this second half then. Lisandro Martinez in goal, Cash on at right back, Lindelof, Mings and Luca Digne making up the back four. Bogard goes into midfield alongside Onana, and then it's Elliot, Buendia and Sancho behind Morgan Rogers, who had to come on for the injured Watkins in the first half. For Salzburg, Schlager in goal, Truma, Gadu, Schuster and Katzig the back four, Bidstrup the captain, Catano and Diabate in midfield, with Baidu on the right wing, Alaj Begovic on the left, and now Yeo up front. Villa trailing by a 1-0 and in danger because of results elsewhere as well of missing out on a place in the top two, as Matty Cash, the Poland international, gets his first touch of the second half. Plays it back to Lindelof inside the penalty area away to our left. They need to play with a bit more tempo, a bit more urgency, Aston Villa, in this second half.
Yeah, 100%. Matty Cash has already had a proper goal at Lindelof as well. But he's asking that question. Just put it forward to Jadon Sancho, it's on. But trying to overplay. How many times I've just seen Tyrone Mings already in this half alone refuse that pass forward, cut back and try and play to Emi Martinez, inviting RB Salzburg onto them as well.
It's actually Enrique Aguilar who's come on, not Yeo. They made a mistake with the electronic board. Nonetheless, it is a like-for-like change. Aguilar, a 19-year-old Swiss forward, making only his 4th appearance of the season.
It's quite impressive, actually, how young this RB Salzburg side is. Well, they're starting 11 anyway.
Long throw in from Matty Cash, looking for Morgan Rogers inside the penalty area. Had a bit of room to turn, but then showed a bit too much of it to the excellent Yannick Schuster. And cleared away in the left-back position by Franz Katzig, the German. Salzburg, who've drawn 2 and lost 6 of their previous 8 encounters against English opponents. They're leading this one by a 1-0. And here is Diabate, who's really caught the eye in midfield as well, and they're trying to play the ball forward here for Aguilar, but Tyrone Mings there ahead of the half-time substitute. And Onana on the edge of his own penalty area just cushions the ball out to Luca Digne. Digne can't keep it in play on that far side, so it will be a throw-in for Salzburg. We've got live championship commentary for you here on Talksport 2 tomorrow. Bristol City against Derby is an 8 o'clock kickoff. Then on Saturday 12:30 here on Talksport 2, we've got Crisis Club Leicester at home to Charlton. At 3 o'clock we're at Loftus Road for QPR Coventry in the championship. There's maybe another opportunity here for Salzburg to get a shot away. Tyrone Mings again having the defenders near post. He doesn't do it, and it's been tucked in by Yeo. And what a start to the second half for RB Salzburg. It was good play down the right-hand side by Alaj Begovic. Tyrone Mings didn't deal with a cross at the near post. It's just been flicked in from 6 yards out by Yeo.
Yeah, well, it's far too easy. It's a wonderful goal, isn't it? You know, Alaj Begovic as well, just cut it back. Great movement by Yeo. Fantastic little flick. And I've got to say, Emi Martinez can't do nothing about that, but defensively the cross should be stopped. Great little bit of movement as well. Tell you, it's an outstanding little finish, isn't it?
But it was Yeo who came on at half-time, and it's Yeo who has scored the second goal. Tyrone Mings has got to do more again, hasn't he, to stop the cross?
Yeah, 100%. Stop the cross. And then someone's got to stay on Yeo as well, but it is a fantastic finish. Back to goal, can't really do anything else. You know what I mean? So it's an excellent finish. Here he comes again.
Yeo looking for the cross in the centre from the right-hand side by Baidu this time, and Luca Digne put under pressure inside his own area. Then Onana clears it against Baidu and out for a corner, goal kick rather. But you can hear the frustrations, Chris, of the Aston Villa supporters.
Yeah, and rightfully so. It's been nowhere near good enough. You think, come out second half, play in the right areas, get in the front foot, turn that. Let's look at this defensive unit of RB Salzburg as well. It's keeping it high, putting the pressure on, trying to force the issue in the right areas. Just been no urgency.
And Aston Villa 2-0 down and down to 4th. Here's Jadon Sancho trying to change all that. Ball into Matty Cash, driven in towards the near post, but straight into the arms of Schlager, who does well. So as it stands table, Lyon are going to win the league phase on 19 points from their 8 games. Midtjylland now up into the top 2 with the same points. Freiburg, 18 points from 8 games, ahead of Aston Villa on goal difference. And there is a danger here that the likes of Real Betis and Porto are hot on Aston Villa's heels. I said at the start of the night they could be as high as top or as low as 7th by the end of the evening. At the moment, they're heading in a downward trajectory, Aston Villa. Remember, they have to finish in the top 4 to get home advantage in the round of 16 and the quarter-finals in those 2-legged ties. Not the night that Unai Emery would have been hoping for. The Aston Villa manager stood arms in pockets on the edge of his technical area, wearing a big puffer jacket this evening to try and keep warm. Here's Morgan Rogers, left corner of the penalty area. Can't make space for the shot, and the ball is cleared high upfield and then headed down by Victor Lindelof.
Yeah, even now, just no urgency in the play, far too easily. You know, without the ball, I've got to say, RB Salzburg, they sit in, they're compact, they're hard to play through. The ball needs to be moved quicker, to move them around, to create those little spaces, those little pockets that you can find a Buendia or a Harvey Elliott. But at the minute, just look at how well and how organised they are without the ball. But I still need more urgency, more purpose from this Villa side.
Well, this is a result that none of us could have anticipated. Aston Villa so good at home, 2-0 down against an RB Salzburg side who were outside the playoffs. And in fact, they are still outside the playoffs, despite the fact they're leading here by 2-0 because of results elsewhere at the moment. Rather cruelly, perhaps they're going to finish in 25th place, Chris.
Yeah, but like you say, I think the players have got a job to do. Obviously, they need a few favours elsewhere. I'm sure that'll chop and change a couple of times from now till the end of the game.
Well, you need a maths degree just to try and keep across it, but we're doing our best. Villa 4th as it stands. Forest are 12th. They're leading 2-0 over on Talksport, but not enough to get in the top 8. And as I say, at the moment, Salzburg are going to finish just below the playoff mark. They're 1 point behind the likes of Dinamo Zagreb, Ludogorets, Brann and Lille. Celtic up to 20th on 11 points, so Martin O'Neill's men comfortable enough. Villa certainly not comfortable here. They've lost Ollie Watkins to injury and they've conceded 2 pretty sloppy goals to trail by 2-0. There's a clash of heads there. Buendia was the Villa player involved, but it's Diabate who goes down for Salzburg. Yeo, the Malian, with only his 2nd goal of the season to double Salzburg's lead on the night. Here's Tyrone Mings forward to Harvey Elliott inside the centre circle. Now Matty Cash, the half-time substitute, will come forward down the right. This game brought to you in association with TNT Sports, your home of European football. Villa trailing by 2-0.
Now I'm looking at Harvey Elliott. He's the only player that is actually trying to move the ball with a little bit of urgency as well. I think Matty Cash as well. As soon as he gave it to Cash, he's asking that question in behind. I think the ball can come earlier. Too many times it's the safety option. Let's pull out. Let's just play across. Let's keep possession. 2-0 down. They have to take that risk. They have to play it forward.
Elliott into the feet of Rogers. Rogers into the penalty area. Looking for the run of Buendia. Scuffs his shot. And it's an easy collect by Schlager. I was just going to say to you, talking about playing on the front foot, expressing themselves. It's difficult, isn't it? If you're Harvey Elliott and you know the manager doesn't really fancy you, do you overthink things?
Well, I think you can, but this is what he's paid to do. This is what he loves doing, is going out and playing. It's another game of football. At the end of the day, it's a chance, and he is trying to do the right things. You know, I just feel that the other players around him need to step up as well. That's an excellent little bit of a play. Excellent run from Buendia as well, and that's Tim Trumer that's following him all the way. Great defensive, just to get his body between ball and man, so that Buendia can't get the right purchase on the ball to trouble Schlager.
There is a suggestion over in France that Roberto De Zerbi may have resigned as Marseille manager in the wake of their dramatic exit from the Champions League last night. We'll keep across that on the website, talksport.com, as Lyon go 2-1 up against PAOK. So Lyon cementing themselves in top spot. Aston Villa would have had to win handsomely here if Lyon win their game to stand any chance of finishing top, but at the moment they're not even in the top 3. as it stands. 2-0 down at home to RB Salzburg. Here's Sancho. Sancho into the penalty area. Lovely flick by Elliott. Ball played across the box. Might come for Luca Digne. Buendia with a shot left-footed, and he scooped it right over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, but that's what happens. Excellent quality. Moving the ball quick. Cash putting balls into the box. Lucas Digne picking up second balls. And then, like you say, Buendia, fantastic little two-touch to get the shot away. Just couldn't hit the target. But like you say, you move it with a purpose and you're going to create opportunities. It needs to happen more regular.
Ball played forward by Salzburg. Mati Cash facing his own goal. Has to get there ahead of the very lively Alaj Begovic, the 18-year-old, whose 2 goals last week against Basel have kept alive hopes of qualifying for the playoffs. You are listening to Aston Villa against Salzburg in the Europa League, live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent a Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Aston Villa fans doing their best to offer up some vocal encouragement. Those pocket of Salzburg supporters over on the far side making plenty of noise as well as Tyrone Mings comes forward towards halfway. Here's Digne. 2-0 Villa trail at a ground where they rarely lose this season. Here's Harvey Elliott over the halfway line. Ball forward to Sancho. Sancho able to bring it down, right hand side into the penalty area. Drills it low. Looking for the likes of Elliott and Buendia in the centre. Cleared as far as Mati Cash. Gives it back to Sancho again. And Sancho checks back into midfield and Bogard. Here's Lindelof now over the halfway line. Back to Sancho again, the former England international. Cash into Sancho's feet. Elliott made a good run ahead of him. Needs a decent delivery here, and he's just crossed it straight into the arms of the keeper. Schlager, routine catch for the Austrian.
Yeah, but better. You know, Matty Cash, Jadon Sancho, Harvey Elliott asking that question behind. I just felt there, he never had to take the cross on. Just make sure the ball gets down. It was bouncing. He's tried to it was an easy one for Schlager to come out and collect, but they're moving it, they're getting into the attacking area, and there's a wee bit more urgency.
Harvey Elliott to Bogard. Bogard brought down by Yeo on the edge of the penalty area. It's a free kick here, potentially within shooting range. Quite clever from Bogard, just let the ball run across his body and then waited for the contact to win the foul.
Yeah, he knew it was coming, wasn't it? You know, I think it just shows you, like, without the ball, I've got to say, RB Salzburg, everyone knows the responsibilities. People are working back, taking on those defensive duties as well. That's Yeo back there chasing everything as well with the challenge on Bogard.
You still feel if Aston Villa were to get 1 goal
100%.
back here with more than half an hour to play, I know they're 2-0 down, but every chance they could turn it around.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Luca Digne, I think, to address this free kick. It suits a left footer coming in from the right hand side potentially, as Forest go 3-0 up on Ferencváros over on Talksport.
Does that change anything?
Doesn't make any difference, no. It's points that are the problem. Luca Digne with the ball into the area, nodded down by Anana, and maybe just a bit too intricate there.
Yeah.
The ball is cleared.
Well, he's trying to look for someone else. I think, why not just have a pop at goal as well? It's at a good height that you're actually bring your head down to it, so get the shot away.
Here's Bogard, certainly looking a lot more comfortable in midfield than he did at right back as he was deployed in the first half. Aston Villa missing quite a few key players tonight. Probably hoping to keep Matty Cash in cold storage for Brentford here in the Premier League on Sunday, but needs must, as Salzburg have the chance to attack with Yeo on halfway. Scored the second goal early in the second half, adding to that effort from Kanate after the Tyrone Mings mistake in the first. 2-0 Salzburg lead. We play 59 minutes on Talksport 2. Nottingham Forest up to 11th in the table, but still 2 points behind Roma in 8th. Currently in the last of the automatic round of 16 spots, and Villa are still 4th as it stands. So that will mean home advantage in the round of 16 and the quarterfinals in the second leg, but not in the semi should they get that far. Here's Diabate, feinted a shoot, rolled it into the penalty area, and it's been lashed across the face of goal by Kitano. Wonder if he may have been offside anyway, but well, he should have scored.
Yeah, it was a very, very tight one, wasn't it? The flag never went up, so if he hit the target, put it at the back of the net, it would have been a third goal. But it's far too easy again. I mean, just picking up second balls and they're playing forward. I've got to say, Badu again got the better of Tyrone Mings. Shouldn't happen. You know, the big man's been miles off it.
Braga are 0-0 at go-ahead Eagles. If they were to score and go ahead in that game, Villa would fall out of the top 4 completely. So they're still relying on results elsewhere to keep them in the top 4 positions. That third Nottingham Forest goal over on Talksport, a second for Igor Jesus, who has saved his best form for this competition. Here is Jadon Sancho. Plucks the ball beautifully from the sky, Sancho, after it was fizzed forward to him down the right. Cash and Elliott linking up. Sancho has continued his run, looks up, plays a low ball into the area for Matty Cash. Cash looks to pull it back. Chance maybe for Luca Digne at the far post. Just wasn't really enough weight on the ball. He had to wait an eternity to get his shot away, and when he did, it was cleared.
Yeah, but Alex, I think the ball's an excellent ball from Cash. I think Luca Digne has to be in there, has to be going and tacking it on the full. The ball shouldn't bounce 2-3 times before he gets a touch of the ball there. See, they're in good possession. Excellent little build-up play with Jadon Sancho and Matty Cash. Lucas Digne's got to be there at the back post area.
They're certainly looking a lot more dangerous when they come forward in this second half. Sancho beaten to the ball by Schuster, and he knocks it out of play for a throw on this near side. The Holt end away to our right, trying to urge their team forward. The self-proclaimed 12th man, according to a banner between the 2 tiers of the stand. As the goalkeeper for Salzburg, Schlager, just miscues his clearance out of play for a Villa throw. They're being penned back inside their own half, the Austrians.
Yeah, they're having to defend, and I've got to say they're doing their job. It's not great defending. Schlager there, it's a ball where he can keep possession of it. He just puts the foot through it a little bit frantic. You know, you've got I've got to say Schuster, who I think's done very well, can keep the ball, can play. They take no chances, just clear it, defend your lines, put it out for a throw-in. And I think this is a real chance, but I think it's important that Aston Villa go and get that goal sooner rather than later.
It's a problem for the weekend, isn't it? Ollie Watkins hobbling off as Celtic concede again, now just 3-2 up against Utrecht. Yeah, if Watkins isn't fit, then Tammy Abraham seemingly is going to be thrown straight in to make a full debut. Maybe that wouldn't have been the master plan. Here, as Salzburg on the attack, sliding challenge from Anana to dispossess the lively Baidu after he made his way into the penalty area. So Celtic still leading 3-2. If they were to concede the equaliser, then I think I'm right in saying they would drop out of the top 24. And Chris Iwelumo is just getting a bit concerned about that possibility. It would help Red Bull Salzburg potentially as well. They go above Celtic on goal difference. I mean, this is what it's all about, isn't it? The jeopardy across Europe. We saw it in the Champions League last night, and well, a few of us have reservations about this new format, but I think it has delivered. And here is Diabate in possession for Salzburg, leading by 2-0 with 64 on the clock. Just keeping the ball here, trying to take the sting out of Aston Villa after a good few minutes for the home side.
Yeah, they've kind of weathered the storm now, isn't it? Now they're getting a little bit more of a foothold. They're just slowing it right down, trying to just invite or pull Aston Villa out. They try and press, because look at that defensive line. They've got Willen Runners and Yeo and Baidu as well, that can ask that question in behind. But it's just slowing it down. Look at this, Schlager on the ball.
Yeah, Schlager plays it up towards the centre circle. Well, one back by Mings, heads it forward to Harvey Elliott. Elliott through to Rogers. Here's Buendia, edge of the penalty area. Back to Morgan Rogers. Can he get a shot away? Plays it into Buendia again. Well, they pick their way through here. That's an excellent goal. Morgan Rogers with the final touch. But it was brilliant combination play between Rogers and Buendia. And with 26 minutes to go, Aston Villa back in it. Morgan Rogers off the bench to score his 9th goal of the season and make it Aston Villa 1, Salzburg 2.
It's a wonderful goal, isn't it? Just made it look so easy as well. Good link-up play. Little give and go as well. Morgan Rogers, Buendia, the way to pass into the path of Rogers. He still had to take a touch, but the way he just nonchalantly just found that little space at the near post. It's an excellent finish. Look at it again in the monitor, even better. Just the movement. No, that intricate play. Buendia, wait a pass, and like you say, the finishing itself, fantastic with the left foot, just goes a little bit power as well. Schlager doesn't have a chance, that near post. Takes a little touch, I think, as well off the...
Well, they are checking here, I assume for offside, but the check is over pretty readily, and the goal does stand, and Morgan Rogers has half the deficit. Doesn't make any difference in terms of the standings at this moment in time, but if they were to score again, Aston Villa would leapfrog Freiburg and go back into third place. Cue a couple of Aston Villa changes. Ezri Konsa is coming on.
So I would say Lindelof will go into midfield or not, and Konsa goes to the right.
Amadou Onana is making way as well. And it's one of the young players, Jamaldine Jimo Aloba, the 19-year-old, making only his 4th senior appearance in an Aston Villa shirt. Ezri Konsa, the other player, coming on. And Celtic have calmed Chris's nerve. They got a 4th goal. They lead 4-2 against Utrecht. Should be enough to see them over the line.
Yeah, so Lindelof will just go in and sit beside Bogard. There's a holding midfielder, Konsa, right centre-back.
Yeah, Konsa alongside Mings in the heart of that Aston Villa defence. Jimo Aloba, former West Bromwich Albion youngster, someone I know they expect big things of for the future here at Villa Park.
Did you see the family tweet that went out when he made his Premier League debut? Fantastic, isn't it?
That's what it's all about, isn't it? That family pride. Here's Jadon Sancho forward to Harvey Elliott. Can Jimo Aloba help Aston Villa salvage at least a point from this game? Here he is on the ball, the substitute. Left corner of the penalty area. Cuts in his right foot. It's to shoot by the Villa fans. He does so. And it's a brilliant tip over by Schlager. Well, what an impact that would have been by Jimo Aloba.
But it's outstanding, isn't it? That's exactly what you want. So direct. As soon as he got the ball, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Just driving inside. Ask the question. Ask that question of Schlager. That's all you can ask. But more urgency, fantastic little bit of play. He's asking that question behind, stretching the pitch, and then has the quality. So direct when he got the ball.
Here comes the corner for Aston Villa. The volume level ramped up inside Villa Park, whipped in by Digne from the left-hand side. Harvey Elliott with a shot, snatched at it across the face of goal, and it's cleared from deep inside the penalty area. And Martinez, the Villa goalkeeper, has come all the way up to the centre circle to keep the home side in possession. 2-1 down.
Great ball.
But still a quarter of this match to play. Harvey Elliott coming in from the right-hand side into the central midfield position. And Bogard. Villa building up ahead of steam here, you feel. Sancho slows the game down on the edge of the penalty area. Plays it out to Digne on the left. Luca Digne with a deep cross into the centre. Well defended by Salzburg, but they've won it straight back, Villa, and then it was given away by Bogard.
I've got to say Lindelof done ever so well just to keep the ball, keep possession of it. That's where Bogard has to be better. You know, don't allow. Tell you what, here they come as well.
Yeah,
he's been good.
Over the halfway line, forward to Yeo now, edge of the penalty area. Can he get a shot off left foot? And he drags it across the face of goal, and it's behind for a goal kick for Aston Villa, who trail by 2-1 here on Talksport 2.
But that's what you want from Jadon Sancho as well, having that understanding. Obviously, he's come back over to this right-hand side as well, but he was on that left side, having that understanding with Lucas Digne. Got on the ball. Harvey Elliott, you know the ball's going to stick. He has a fantastic ability in there just to kind of find those little pockets, but they've got to find them.
So a reminder, as it stands, Aston Villa 4th in the table. That will give them home advantage in the second leg in the round of 16 and the quarter-finals, but not the semi-finals, unless they can force their way into the top 2. They're going to have to defend here on the edge of their own area. Konsa just ushering it back to his goalkeeper, Martinez, who comes sliding out with Yeo trying to put pressure on Konsa. Forest leading by 3-0 against Ferencváros on Talksport, but they're going to finish 11th and go into the playoffs. Celtic 4-2 up. That's enough to cement a playoff place for Martin O'Neill's men as well. RB Salzburg, even though they're leading here, are down in 26th place. They need to be in the top 24 to avoid elimination. But they've certainly put quite the effort in for their travelling supporters from Austria over on the far side over the course of the evening to this point. 2-0 up early in the second half. The deficit reduced by a fine goal from Morgan Rogers after great interplay between him and Buendia. And you do sense if there is to be more goals, they're going to go the way of the home side. But Salzburg still lively on the counter. Makes it a fascinating listen.
Yeah, it's important that they still have a threat. You know, I think they understand they've got to concede possession, allow Aston Villa to have a lot of it, and then when they overcommit because they have to take risks to get back in the game, that's when this RB Salzburg side can capitalise.
Cash for the ball forward, looking for Sancho. Just about cleared away by the left back Katzig, not convincingly, but it did the job. And it's won back by Lindelof inside the centre circle. Forward to Harvey Elliott, who's passed it straight to Yeo. Did well to win it back though, Elliott. Then Morgan Rogers chests it down for Sancho. Referee has given a free kick, I think, for a handball.
Play on.
And it's taken quickly. Chris frustrated that the referee didn't play the advantage.
Well, they're in good possession.
Here's Jadon Sancho down by the right corner flag. Sancho hugging this near touchline. Getting it back from Matty Cash. Cash level with the 18-yard line away to our right. Villa 2-1 down, but chasing hard for the equaliser. Cash. Little back heel into Rogers. Rogers finds Sancho. Sancho just about escapes away from Diabate and then forces the Salzburg defender to carry the ball behind for a corner. He's whipping up the fans in the lower tier of the whole end, Jadon Sancho, as this set piece is about to be taken.
I've got to say, I thought Diabate done ever so well, just got his body between ball and man there, but as Sancho's just put him under pressure without giving a foul away, he just got that final little contact to take it out for a corner kick there, but much better. Rogers, Cash, Jadon Sancho all linking up very well.
Digne with a corner. Villa 2-1 down. We've got 18 minutes of normal time to go here. There'll be another Salzburg change or two next time there's a stoppage in play. The referee is not yet allowing the corner to be taken. Just in conversation with Diabate and the Villa captain Tyrone Mings. Not entirely sure what that's all about. Corner in front of the whole team. Whipped in left-footed by Digne towards the near post. It's a dangerous one! Oh, and it's blazed over the crossbar. Harvey Elliott got right underneath it. Certainly the shot didn't lack power, but it did lack precision, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Well, again, anticipating where it's going to come. You know, with the quality that he's got, he'll be disappointed. The goal doesn't move. The connection was excellent. But make sure that you want the keeper. Make sure you hit the target.
The changes for RB Salzburg, and I don't think Villa will be too disappointed to see the end of Bido. He's had an excellent evening. Karim Onisuo, the former Mainz forward, is his replacement, and also Halaj Begovic is making way, so fresh legs right at the top end of the pitch. Both wingers replaced, Chris.
Yeah, like you say, fresh legs. Nothing really changes like for like, isn't it? So again, nothing, as I say, I think it's going to be all Aston Villa, but they have to make sure that RB Salzburg, they pose a threat, and this is opportunities where they've got, like, look at this, 3 on this down this channel.
Yeah, and straight away, Bischoff, the second of the substitutes for Salzburg coming on there, is going to get across into the penalty area. Good header away by Mings. Angles it clear, and then fired back in by the fullback Truma, but straight into the arms of Emi Martinez. 2-1 to Salzburg with little over 16 minutes of normal time to play here.
Yeah, excellent defensive header, wasn't it, from Tyrone Mings? But again, it's so important that non-negotiables, they've got to pick up second balls. Truma gets on the ball, and it's, to be fair, he struck it well. Any side of Emi Martinez there, it's causing him some problems. I don't think that's a bad challenge there.
It's going to be a free kick for Aston Villa. Victor Lindelof just helping Kitano, the Japanese midfielder for Salzburg, back to his feet. So tight at the top of the table. Lyon and Michelin, the top two on 19 points. Freiburg and Villa both on 18. Betis, Porto, Sporting Braga all on 17. Villa still searching for this leveller.
Oh!
And that was not a great challenge on Bogard. And it's going to be a free kick for Aston Villa. Yeo A little bit overzealous in the tackle, I would suggest.
Yeah, a good bit of trickery from Bogard. Just a little flick away, and to be fair, I think he's lucky not to get a card there, Yale.
He hasn't dished out too many bookings, has he?
He
The referee over the course of the evening. Here's Morgan Rogers, scorer of the Aston Villa goal. Crosses charged down by Truman and out for another corner as another roar goes up from the Holt end.
I think his movement's been good. Morgan Rogers, any time you're looking at Cash or Lucas Digne when he gets the ball, I think he's finding those little pockets, asking that question in behind the channels as well. It's just pulling the defensive unit, defensive centre-backs out of position as well.
Corner played in towards the 6-yard box. They do have a height advantage, Aston Villa, but Bischoff's got his header away for Salzburg. Luca Digne trying to keep it alive on that far side. Harvey Elliott thought about putting the cross in, does put the cross in. Oh, and it's a header from Tyrone Mings. And the captain has levelled it up for Aston Villa and makes amends for his huge mistake in the first half that gifted Salzburg the lead. And from 2-0 down a matter of minutes ago, it is Aston Villa 2, Salzburg 2.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball then, isn't it? And it's bravery. I've got to say, it's bravery from Tyrone Mings. You know what I mean? It's Matty Cash with a wonderful ball in, and that's when you're thinking, as a defender, you've got to go and be strong there. Schlager comes out, got to be stronger as a goalkeeper, take the player, take the ball, everything, but Tyrone Mings doesn't care. Wonderful header. Bravery from the big man there as well, redeemed himself.
Well, he almost got a punch in the face from the goalkeeper for his troubles, but Tyrone Mings bravely nodding Aston Villa level. It's going to take them up to at least third place in the table on the same number of points here with Lyon and Midtjylland as Esri Konsa goes down.
Yeah, he's took a sore one there. You can just see the concern. It's one of them. Morgan Rogers slides into the advertising board as well. You just have a little panic up, don't you?
Terrific header from Mings, goalkeeper in no man's land. It was a cross-action slip from Matty Cash, but he found his intended target. Mings had stayed forward from the earlier corner, and Aston Villa reaped the rewards, and they've still got the best part of 15 minutes to find a winner, and you certainly wouldn't bet against them. Momentum very much seems to be with Aston Villa as the 20-year-old Caden Young is being ready.
Yeah, but it's been better. You know what I mean? Having a wee bit of energy, driving forward, taking players on, moving the opposition out, pulling them out of positions. But then it's end product, giving quality going into the box that you can go and attack. I think Tyrone Mings sees Matty Cash on the ball, you're thinking, he has the quality to find me, I'm going to make the run. And that's what it's all about, is it not?
What about this at the top of the table? Lyon, 19 points in first place. Midtjylland, 19 points in second place. Villa, 19 points in third. Freiburg, 18 points in fourth. What it means is, if Aston Villa were to find a winner in these last 12 minutes plus stoppage time and results stay as they are elsewhere, they will top the table. It's been that kind of night, hasn't it?
It's unbelievable.
And they're changed, by the way. The 20-year-old Young coming on for Jadon Sancho. Young, who spent the second half of last season out on loan in the Belgian League with Royal Antwerp. He did make a couple of League Cup appearances for Villa before going out on loan, but a big night for him. His European debut for the club. And it just shows how stretched they are, doesn't it? That when they're chasing a victory here in Europe, they're having to bring youngsters off the bench. They lost Ollie Watkins to what looked like a hamstring injury in the first half. That's a big concern ahead of the visit of his old club Brentford at the weekend. But a more immediate priority for Unai Emery is to complete the comeback and go on and win this game from 2-0 down.
Yeah, spot on.
Here is Kitano forward to the edge of the penalty area, and Onisawu, they've won it back, Aston Villa. Here's Harvey Elliott down the right, coming infield, showing too much of it to Onisawu. He wanted a free kick, the referee saw nothing in that, and Villa have won it back anyway. Over on that far side of the field with Jimo Aloba. Jimo Aloba into the penalty area. He's certainly shown plenty of confidence since coming on. His cross is charged down, plucked from the air by Mings. Gave away a goal at one end, has scored to get his team level at the other. A roller coaster night for Tyrone Mings, a roller coaster night for everybody inside Villa Park, really. And what was supposedly a bit of a dead rubber. Jimo Aloba, midway inside Salzburg territory. Back to Ezri Konsa. Now Matty Cash down the Villa right. Out to this near side. And Caden Young. Cash switches the play. Brilliant ball. Arrowed into the path of Luca Digne. Digne with a first-time cross. Stooping header away by Schuster. But Villa win it back with Digne on the edge of the penalty area. Bogard out to his left-hand side. Crossed in and swept away again by Schuster, and then anywhere will do for Kitano.
Yeah, but
they are feeling it now, Salzburg, aren't they? Feeling the pressure.
Yeah, as soon as Aston Villa are out of possession, they go hunting, they force that issue.
2-2 on Talksport 2. Nottingham Forest leading by 3-0 over on Talksport against Ferencváros. Won't be enough for a place in the top 8. They're going to need the playoffs to secure their passage to the round of 16. Aston Villa knew they were already through, but they were looking to wrap up a top 2 finish. Jimo Aloba winning it back inside the penalty area, but it's cleared up to Onisiwu. This game really has delivered the drama. I just sense with the best part of 10 minutes plus stoppage time to play, the drama might not be over. You're listening to Aston Villa against Salzburg in the Europa League, live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
I'm just looking at Moritz Keremgard, just getting him ready, itching to come on.
Yeah, more fresh legs, the order of the day as far as Salzburg are concerned. Here's Matty Cash though. Out to Young. Young coming in from the right-hand side into the centre of the Salzburg half, and then rolling the ball out to Tyrone Mings, and now Digne on the far side, the left. Jimo Aloba back to Tyrone Mings. Good spell of possession this from Villa, just trying to pick their way through. Back out with Digne on the far side once more. Salzburg have got everybody in white and red jerseys back behind the ball as the floodlights continue to beam down at Villa Park. Matty Cash into Lindelof. Cash just inside the Salzburg half again. He's going to switch the play out to his left, and Luca Digne in space. Rogers and Elliott in the centre. Here's Jimo Aloba. Again urged to shoot by the Villa fans. Puts it into a dangerous area. Nearly came for Sancho, but Salzburg have scrambled it clear as far as Bogard. Jimo Aloba again. Matty Cash on the edge of the area finds Rogers. Cash gets it back inside the box. Cash with a shot, trying to play it through the goalkeeper's legs. It almost crept over the line before he almost just sat down on it, Schlager, and managed to keep it the right side of the line. 2-2.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Matty Cash, you know, really on his front foot there, linking up well with Rogers as well. And like you say, he just went for power. Schlager was very, very fortunate, just got that contact. It still went behind him a little bit, but he managed to gather.
Villa still in third in the as it stands table. Still all square here at Villa Park, but a goal for the home side. They would leapfrog Midtjylland and Lyon into top spot. Double change about to be made by Salzburg. Not just Kaya Gard who's coming on, but I think Oliver Lukic as well in midfield. Here is Onisiwu. Lets it roll out to his left-hand side. Maybe a chance for Katzig to come forward, but his cross is volley clear by Luca Digne, and then nodded down as they put it back towards the penalty area by Mings. Got to say, Jimo Aloba's done really well since coming on. A few confident touches and really caused problems running at this Salzburg defence as the ball is gone. Or launched long upfield for Morgan Rogers. He's linking up with Digne on the far side. Rogers scored the first Aston Villa goal to make it 2-1. Tyrone Mings heading in the equaliser from Matty Cash's cross. Here is Konsa. Out to the right-hand side. And Caden Young. Young forward to Harvey Elliott. Leaves it for his teammate. Now Elliott again. Into the feet of Lindelof. He tried the little back heel, but that's going to be meat and drink really for the goalkeeper Schlager, just to pluck the ball inside his own penalty area and try and waste a few more valuable seconds, with the score still locked at 2-2 at Villa Park. Forest still leading Ferencváros 3-0 on Talksport, but they are going to have to settle for a playoff place due to the results elsewhere tonight. Here's Yeo, 25 yards out, taking on Lindelof, rolling it to his right, and Truma up from the back. Now the excellent Diabate forward towards the penalty area, cleared by Conson, and back by Diabate. Diabate shoots through a crowded box, and it's an easy save low to his right by Martinez.
Yeah, but he's winning those second balls, keeping that pressure on. I think it was the touch off Bogard from the Diabate shot that just took a little bit of the sting out for Martinez to gather comfortably.
Well, Salzburg can't get the ball out to make these changes. The two sides have been warming up for a good few minutes now. I'll tell you what, it's a night when you need to keep warm. Chris O'Wellham, who looks like he's about to go and explore the Antarctic, to my right.
You're wrapped up well, Alex.
Tell you what, it wasn't this cold when I left the sunny south coast at lunchtime, that is for sure. Cross into the Villa penalty area, collected by Martinez, who immediately is beckoning his teammates forward. 2-2, and we're into the last 5 minutes of normal time. Elliott stands it down for Cash, but Salzburg have got it back with Yeo, high up the field. Yeo away from Lindelof, into Katzig, who's attacked well up from left back in that sort of inverted position. Here's Diabate now, the diminutive central midfielder for Salzburg. Rolls it out to his left-hand side. Bischkopf is crying out for the pass forward, but Caden Young wrestling to try and win it back, and then in steps Luca Digne, and it's going to come for Rodgers on halfway. Good footwork from him. Young to his right. Only Jimo Aloba and Rodgers ahead of Young into the penalty area. Cuts it back for Jimo Aloba! And Aston Villa lead! And it's one of their young guns off the bench to score the storybook goal. Jamaldine Jimo Aloba sweeps home right-footed to put Aston Villa top of the Europa League table tonight. They lead by 3 goals to 2 at Villa Park.
That's a wonderful goal, isn't it? You're looking at that. Caden Young does everything right. Junior Aloba as well. He's just come on to expect his spot, just find that bottom right-hand corner. It's a wonderful goal. But Caden Young, it's all about end product, putting it on the plate. Fantastic little cut back as well. But Jamoa, I'll tell you what, it's a fantastic finish, isn't it?
Well, what a story that is. The two youngsters combine to give Aston Villa the lead for the first time on the evening. I think as I was commentating, you were showing me that Lyon lead 3-2 against PAOK. So actually it'll be second place for Aston Villa, but that will do. That
100%,
will do.
100%. But like you say, to come back, how much better has it been? across the board, everyone knowing their jobs, playing forward, taking the risk. He's looking like a happy man. He was so angry walking off Unai Emery at half time. But much better. This is what this Aston Villa side can do.
And there will barely be enough time for Salzburg to reply. Aston Villa 3, Salzburg 2, with 88 minutes on the clock, and it's a famous Villa Park goal for one of their youngsters, the 19-year-old Jimo Aloba, making only his 4th senior appearance. What a moment for him, and what a moment for Aston Villa to come good in this second half. And just confirmation, Lyon top on 21 points, Villa level on points with a Frenchman, but they had a 4-goal inferior goal difference at the start of the night. The fact they're both leading 3-2 means that hasn't changed, but crucially Villa back above Midtjylland into the top 2, and that will mean home advantage in every knockout round up to the final in the second leg.
Fantastic, isn't it? Now we called it, he's come on, Jimo Aloba as well. He's trying to influence the game in a positive way, a few shots from distance as well, being direct, getting at his opposition. And I've got to say, just anticipating where Jaden Young's going to put the ball as well, and having that composure just to find that bottom corner and finish the way he did. It was an outstanding goal.
And listen to the noise inside Villa Park now. It was all doom and gloom early in the second half when they fell 2 goals behind, but it's been a stirring fight back to maintain this incredible home record. It'll be 20 wins and only 2 defeats from their last 23 here at what's become a fortress over the course of the season, unless Salzburg can do something quite dramatic in the moments that remain. We're into the penultimate minute of the 90. Villa leading by 3 goals to 2. And it will be 7 wins and 1 defeat from their 8 league phase games. Heading in to the knockout rounds of a competition, they are the bookmakers' favourites to win. Have you seen enough tonight to justify favouritism?
Well, this second half performance has been much better, but they just can't be complacent. It's not just going to happen no matter your opposition. You have to go out there and do the basics well, and then, like you say, win those little individual battles, and then the quality will shine through. But you've got to earn the right to play the way that you want to.
I've got to say, he's been terrific, Jimo Aloba. Not just the goal, but the way he's run at this Salzburg defence, the confidence that he's shown on the ball. Just what Aston Villa needed. Matty Cash just cajoling Caden Young ahead of him, just to try and see this job through now. Aston Villa are into stoppage time at the end of the 90. They lead by 3 goals to 2. I didn't actually see the ball go up as to how many added minutes there will be, but we are into stoppage time now on Talksport 2. 3 added minutes, I'm being told, and we've played almost one of those already. Morgan Rogers neatly dancing away from a couple of Salzburg players and driving into the heart of the Austrian half, and wins a throw in. That'll do for Aston Villa. Just keep ball for the next 2 minutes, and they've won the game, and they've secured a place in the top 2. Forest down to 13th place now. It was always going to be a tall order to get into the top 8. Celtic are going to finish 21st. As it stands, that'll be a playoff place, and well, Salzburg were out even when they were winning. They're definitely going out in defeat. Here's Young, provider of the winning goal as it stands. His cross turned in by Jimo Aloba. Young's been dispossessed. He's given away a foul. There might be one last opportunity in stoppage time for Salzburg to launch the ball forward. But Unai Emery, as frustrated as he was with his team showing in the first 50 odd minutes of the game, he's going to be absolutely beaming with pride. The way they fought back, the fact the youngsters have come off the bench and made a real impact as well. It's been a night where Villa have had to show plenty of character as well as their footballing talent, and it looks like it's going to be enough to get them over the line. Ball forward by Digne, looking for Morgan Rogers. 40 seconds of stoppage time remaining. Villa lead 3-2. Brought down by Harvey Elliott, 5 yards outside the area. Into Young. Are they going to go and try and get a fourth here, Villa? Young with a cross towards the far post, and well, this time Jimo Aloba heads it over.
Yeah, but it's quality from Caden Young, is again just having that vision. You know, again, I think it's an excellent ball. Jimo Aloba just couldn't read the flight of the ball. Just got to steer it on target. All the pace was on the cross itself.
We are into the last few seconds at Villa Park. In fact, there is no more time. Well, they didn't make it easy for themselves, but Aston Villa have ultimately come through with a victory to secure a place in the top 2 in the league phase. They were 2-0 down after 49 minutes. Goals from Canate and Yeo, the substitute for Salzburg. Morgan Rogers, after a brilliant piece of interplay between him and Emi Buendia, reduced the arrears with 26 minutes remaining, and from there you always felt like Aston Villa could go on and win the game. Tyrone Mings, who made a big mistake for the first Salzburg goal, he headed the equaliser in the 76th minute, and with 3 minutes of normal time remaining, Jamaldine Jimo Aloba, the 19-year-old, with his first senior goal, firing in at the far post, gave Villa the comeback victory. 3 precious points to go back into the top 2, and what a stirring fight back from this patched up Aston Villa team.
Yeah, it was outstanding. Game of 2 halves. You know, I think team came out, started a little bit poor, conceded that second goal, and then got into gear, you know, and showed the quality that they possess. You know, I've got to say, I think in-game management, bringing on the players, the quality that can influence the game in a positive way, they've done exactly that. Matty Cash coming on, Konza coming on, like you say, Jimmy Aloba coming on, getting his goal, Caden Young. Now the quality's there, but they cannot start the game. Complacency, found themselves second best over the pitch, but have the quality to turn it around the way they did, and what a fantastic result it was in the end.
Well, it's all smiles now at Villa Park, and it seems an opportune time for Chris to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Well, Jimmo Aloba is milking the adulation of the whole 10 to our right. A special night in his fledgling career. But Chris, who gets your vote for man of the match?
That man that you just mentioned, Jimmy Aloba, fantastic, come on. Had to influence the game, done exactly that, got on the ball, was direct, got a couple of shots asking the question of Schlager and the RB Salzburg goal, but gets the winning goal. Fantastic quality, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to come on and be positive, you've got to influence the game, you've got to take that opportunity, and I think he's done exactly that tonight.
There you go, that was our man of the match. Congratulations, Jamaldeen Jimmo Aloba. He was our Here For It hero with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.